All right, welcome everyone to episode number 13 of NerdinIn, where we're a bunch of guys stuck in quarantine, socially distancing and being responsible, and also still into the various going-ons in the nerd universe. What's up, Shonda? So, we had a Zoom bomber.
I'm sorry she showed her penis.
What?
I'm so sorry. My girlfriend, my fiance came on this fucking Zoom call and showed her penis. I'm so sorry. I should have warned you guys beforehand.
Oh, I missed it. We get a replay? Can we?
So, welcome, Paul. We have our guest and
hi.
soon-to-be regular Paul joining us.
I got drafted.
So you don't know, but towards the end of every episode, like someone's talking to Omar off screen, and it sounds like he's getting into trouble and about to get like axed, and that was her. Because usually he's done something wrong or been on the podcast for too long, and then he gets in trouble. So hopefully he'll stay out of trouble today.
Yeah.
All right. So it's been a couple weeks since we podcasted, but we want to hit on all the major things that have been going on. Lots of comics news, some movie trailers, video game trailers, stuff with DC. We have some Heroclix stuff we're going to cover, and also just some other video game and movie stuff. So first off, Comic-Con was kind of lackluster this year, but then DC had a lot of news coming out. We knew about their planned DC Fandome, which they were going to showcase their various projects coming up. But 2 weeks beforehand, they had just basically dropped a bombshell of they are laying off, or was it laying off or firing? They got rid of a lot of editorial, a lot of editors on the various lines. And then, but this wasn't only at DC. So they were purchased, AT&T purchased Warner, and then Warner also made a lot of cuts. So HBO and other stuff also made a lot of cuts. I think we briefly touched on it, but there was everyone from Bob Harris to other editors down below were just let go, and some of these people had been there only a handful of years. Some of them have been there decades. So Omar, what did you think of the shakeup that happened?
Well, DC has always been like a wonderful thing for me, especially not the last 2 years or 3 years, but maybe 10 years total. The last decade has been I've been a DC guy. And I think that most comic people can say I'm DC on Marvel, because they don't toe the line. If people are saying, oh, I like both, that's some bullshit. It's like they're a Star Trek fan. You know what I mean? So it's
Jay's unfazed.
Jeff Johns has had a really good run on showing what he can do as a publisher, and then they gave him the opportunity to see what he can do beyond that. And then obviously backed up with a bunch of executives and publishers, and they failed real bad, real bad, especially because of Snyder. And I don't even know why they're coming out with the Snyder cut. But it was a bloodbath. It was a bludgeoning. COVID didn't help anything. I feel like, when it comes down to it, it's about survival of the fittest right now. Obviously, it's Marvel. But I think that DC had to cut a lot of fat because they had nothing left. Because they're at the point where, like, back when Marvel in, like, 2001, when they sold out to Disney or so, that's where they are now. They sold out to fucking AT&T, a fucking cellular phone company, So that's really what it is.
Yeah, so Paul, jump in. What did you think? Were you reading any DC titles?
It's weird. Actually, no, but like I'm kind of I read CBR, that website, and then sometimes they'll drop a bombshell. That website. So the way I understand Warner Brothers, though, the streaming app for their DC Universe stuff, there's a lot of bombs, a lot of stinkers in it. The fact that they had Young Justice be kind of like the thing that brings you in. Titans, personally, I thought it was just a mess of a show.
Yeah.
And
the season 2 finale is horrible.
I just, how do you kill Donna Troy like that? You have Connor, and he can move, because we see Connor and Crypto fighting off like dudes in military gear at the speed of sound or whatever, like, and she just stands there's like, I just gotta hold this and get electrocuted, derp. Super dumb. But also the Swamp Thing fiasco, where they incentivized that state to film there, and they were supposed to get like some sort of money back or credit, and then it fell through. And then who was buying it? Because like the thing is, you want to consolidate your shows. So if I can do a Netflix, or if I can do an HBO Max, or even an Amazon Prime and consolidate like other shows, that's just easier. That's just user friendly. But if I had to pay for CBS All Access or Peacock, no thanks, man. And I'm not really like the Trinity fan. I kind of like Secret Six and Outsiders, and I liked Young Justice back in the day. Yeah, I don't know. But as far as the firing goes, like, yeah, they were hurting. And the movie franchise is Warner Brothers, not like how Disney and Marvel, it's Marvel Studios. So you have like competent people filming things. And Snyder is back because of the fans. We don't get to choose their tastes, but their tastes are their tastes. So, if they're
bad.
Yeah, if they're shelling out money for the Snyder cut of Suicide Squad, even though he didn't direct it, they'll get it, and there was a movement for it. And to be fair, Ray Fisher and Joss Whedon like butt heads because of what he talked trash on Zack Snyder, knowing full well the tragedy that, happened to his daughter. So it doesn't make, nobody's a good guy, in that that exchange, and it kind of just paints Snyder as in the haters are gonna hate, because that's kind of the society we're in.
So, yeah, definitely. Yeah. It was, I knew there would be some reshuffling with the purchase. I just didn't think it would be so many at once, or like that close to DC Fandome, which is supposed to be like, a celebration, a mini Comic-Con type of thing for DC. And yeah, with DC, I was just not happy that they got rid of the Vertigo line to create the Black Label. So I'm glad that stupid editor's out. He's a blogger that, I'm going to fail upwards into an editorial role. Screw that. And then I don't know, there was a lot of movement towards young adult books that they were doing, which I tried to read some of them. They're not good. So I don't know if they're still pushing towards that angle. I do know they're doing more digital and graphic novels than more emphasis on those than, I guess, the floppies, because they cut a bunch of the floppy titles. So yeah, Jay, what did you think of the shake-up news?
Yeah, I'm not really up to date on all that stuff. I'm mainly here for the trailers and just that type of thing. But I was doing some reading while you guys were talking. But it seems significant. I think, given the success, I guess like mainstream success, right? Because you look at, I think Marvel has always had that kind of reach, especially because their movies have done so well lately. And I think DC wants to catch up in that way. And I think some of their cuts probably are just related to what's making money, what's not, and good or bad. I think you're going to see both things come out of that, both good things and bad things. But I don't know. It's just I think a crazy year in general, and I'm sure the virus didn't help.
Yeah, because the virus slowed down all the distribution to the shops everywhere, and then DC pulled that move to get new distributors and stuff, which we talked about before. And yeah, it's probably a lot of cost cutting measures. All right, so you did mention the Fandome, Jay. I don't know how many trailers everybody watched. I think I watched all the major ones. What was your favorite trailer, Jay?
Favorite? Probably the one I'm most excited for. It's probably Suicide Squad.
All right, yeah.
James Gunn. Woo!
Yeah. I think it really captures the aesthetic of Suicide Squad. They were I think in the first movie they were trying to capture that while still appealing to the mainstream. And I think this time they just gave James Gunn enough permission to be what it's supposed to. Villains you really don't know, but make them into characters, and you know what I mean? Those characters now that are famous, like Deadshot, he was a throwaway Batman villain that really got his legs in that, Suicide Squad run with Ostrander back in the, whatever, was it 80s?
Yeah, I believe it was.
It was the 80s.
Okay.
Not long ago, but kind of long ago.
Yeah, so I watched they had two trailers. They had one with the roll call of who's playing who in the movie. So everyone's revealed except for who was playing King Shark, which I think speculation is Taika Waititi is going to voice King Shark.
Another CG character.
Which would be awesome. And then the other one had some behind the scenes stuff. And then I watched a little panel that he did. So he actually went and talked to Ostrander because James Gunn is a legit fan. He's, started with the original run with Ostrander back in the 80s when he was, reading as a kid. So yeah, he understands the material and definitely is doing some deep dives with the weirdo characters
Polka Dot Man,
yeah,
Ratcatcher 2,
Weasel,
Mongal.
Yeah,
I want Nathan Fillion, whoever that dude is, Arm Fall Off Boy or whatever.
He's supposed to be. So I was reading
TDK?
an article. So since Arm Fall Off Boy is in Legion in the future, so this is a precursor or a distant relative in the past for Arm Fall Off Boy.
That's great. They don't have to introduce the freaking, rings, the Legion rings, and Brainiac. Yeah, that's
no,
cool.
and I think they probably just approached him, and then James Gunn. He's known from he started off in the Trauma films, and so I think if he puts that kind of B movie flavor to this, this is a perfect vehicle for that.
Well, so you talked about DC following the success of the Marvel films, Jay, and if you look at Suicide Squad 1, they were totally trying to use a soundtrack to carry people into these obscure characters to the general populace. But that's a Guardians of the Galaxy move. That's how they introduced those, who are they? And you just do it through nostalgia 80s. So then they're like, you know what? That didn't work that great. Let's bring in the guy we tried to copy. And they brought him. So it's serendipitous.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, in some ways, I think Guardians is great. But I think because I really fell in love with Suicide Squad because I did read through, and I have all those comics actually from that run. And in some ways, it's I feel like they play in the same area. I mean, it makes perfect sense to bring in James Gunn. But I just think he's going to be able to do something with it, and hopefully not just be derivative of himself.
I mean, he's a director. He definitely has a style
Yeah.
to him. So, I mean, you have Michael Rooker. And
I mean, come on. We can talk about the cast. There's so many, just like
Yeah.
John
Cena.
Cena.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's just
Peacemaker. So good.
Awesome. And I can't wait. It's almost like you don't want anyone to die because they could all
They're
be
all
awesome.
gonna die.
I
Bro, they're
know.
all gonna die.
Well,
Harley's got plot
that's
armor.
what people are saying. Like, what if they all died in the first 10 minutes and like it's a whole new like.
I mean, we did kind of see it in Deadpool 2 with X-Force, which was hilarious. So,
Or if they killed off all the mainstream ones and it's just like Weasel and Polka Dot Man and like King Shark surviving. That would be awesome.
yeah. And it's the tribal tattoo King Shark. So,
The Shark God one.
wait. No. I'm thinking of the video game. I am going to conflate the two. I'm sorry.
There's many versions of him out right now.
Oh,
but
yeah, but yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
this one, the character design looks like the Harley Quinn animated one. Like
A
with
little
his
bit.
goofy smile and stuff. Yeah. Like,
Yeah, he's pudgy. Yeah.
Yep.
Ron Funches is the voice on the Harley Quinn. And by the way, Harley Quinn is a hit. So I really enjoy that a lot, that cartoon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've been recommending it on the podcast, and I think that's one of the things that will be folded into HBO Max.
Oh, absolutely.
When DC Universe eventually ends. I know Doom Patrol's already on there and something else.
Do you think they're going to get renewed?
Harley Quinn, I think so, just because the critical praise is so high.
Oh, I meant Doom Patrol.
Oh, Doom Patrol? Yeah. They stopped one episode shy of their finale due to COVID.
Mhm.
But from what I understand, they're most likely or already renewed. But
Okay, that's good.
that's probably just
Yeah.
that's just probably rumor, but I mean, there's a high chance of that.
Yeah, it's just so good. Like, I really appreciate that show.
Yeah.
They tackle a lot of topics, and they're weird
Yep.
as balls.
Yeah,
And
so
it's
I
great.
think this movie will have that same kind of weird energy, which, yeah, that if they have weird energy, that kind of quirky humor, that'll fit in perfectly.
Yeah, like a high budget trauma film.
Yep.
You know, so maybe the Toxic Avenger will be there. I don't know. Kabuki Warrior. I don't know. Or Kabuki Cop.
Yeah,
Who's-
there's definitely
who's-
a cast. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was
Oh,
saying
that's a
there's-
trauma film. Sorry. Oh, go ahead.
There was definitely like a production shot where John Ostrander was on set, next to James Gunn and stuff. So I know he was brought on. I don't know. I'm just excited. Like, even before the first Suicide Squad movie, like, it was gonna be bad. But I was like, I'll probably like it just because I love Suicide Squad, and I didn't like it. But
Jay, I agree
Go
with
ahead.
you. We can all say that the first He-Man movie was really shitty, but I think that some of us are quite excited about Masters of the Universe, by someone that can actually know how to properly place and produce and like show what this franchise is all about, right?
Have you been watching old He-Man? It's different. I think it's very progressive. It's definitely very
No, it's very progressive. Even the
it's
music's
progressive in that I feel like who's the gay writer? Not like a knock. I'm just saying it's like both subtle, but it's like the gayest show I've ever seen as an adult. And I watched it, I'm like, that's pretty clever. Because he could just murk the crap, like crush Skeletor's head to dust, but he picks like, I don't know, like, well, I hope you learned your lesson. Time to go pick up things. Ooh, a shiny nickel. Like, I don't. It's a fun, lighthearted gay. Even Cringer's gay.
Cringer's definitely gay.
Yeah.
You shiver so hard. You shiver so hard.
Ram Man? Fisto?
The
Come
name,
on.
Adam, it's kind of a play on, oh no, you Christians that hate on me for liking a man, even though all your priests are all fucking like that.
Yeah. It's all projection. It's a Prince Valiant haircut, right? And that's like shaped like a circumcised penis. So he has fabulous powers bestowed to him.
It's also wearing like pink all the time.
Pink and white. Yeah.
Oh man, you guys are gonna make me watch that where he's singing that song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna try to sing it. Oh, dude.
Is DC is Masters of the Universe DC or is it Marvel?
I think they recently crossed over with DC. Was it
Okay.
DC?
Okay. So maybe they crossed.
I need to
But
look
we
it
can
up.
finish our topic that you're talking about. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not a Batman fan.
Yeah,
But
Sean.
I'm not a Batman fan. I used to be really hard.
All right, so there was a lot of Batman related trailers at DC Fandome. So going off of Suicide Squad, the former makers of the Arkham games, Rocksteady, they are producing a new Suicide Squad game. And we got a trailer of that with like Harley, Deadshot, Boomerang, King Shark, and was that it?
Yeah, and Superman comes in mind controlled. And
Brainiac had mind controlled Superman or something.
And then Digger has his son's speed powers, like the speed force.
Oh yeah. When he throws the boomerangs, he can teleport. So that'll be fun, gameplay wise. But that it seems interesting. Like there were rumors that they were gonna do a Superman game, and I'm like, with the fighting style in Arkham, like that'd be wasted on a Superman game because he wouldn't need to do any of that. So having it still like more street level power wise, that seems like gameplay wise it would be a lot more interesting.
You are the most polite podcast ever. I'm so used to like 50 comedians all just like talking over each other. So and I don't know. Are any of you like Japanese? Because that's like a very Japanese.
Omar is part Japanese, and
okay.
He's the most offensive out of all of us. Just so you know.
Oh, for cross talking?
No, just offensive, like in a general and moral standpoint.
Oh yeah, showing up to a meeting with no sleeves. How dare you? Put those guns away.
So did you guys play any of the Arkham games or anything? What'd you think of that? So what do you think about controlling, like Harley was in some of the Arkham games as a antagonist, and I'm sure some of the other people were too. I just never finished the series, but I think it's a good move forward and should sell like gangbusters. I think Jay, you've played them yet? What?
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, just because it's Rocksteady, I think they've proven themselves to be trusted with the franchise, and I don't know. I think they got some of the characters for whatever, and their abilities look sweet. That shot with the rocket pack and stuff like that. So
yeah, the flamethrower rocket pack.
I think that cooperative gameplay is going to be really interesting. Hopefully.
I hope it's third person, because I don't want another Borderlands where I don't know what I'm looking at. But at the same time, I don't want it to be like the Square Enix Avengers game, which it won't be, because Rocksteady actually makes compelling goons or jobbers, where in Arkham, they're bantering, and I love it because that's part of the atmosphere. That's what makes that game so good. Well, one of the many things that make it so good. So, hey,
Omar, are you gonna buy a console to finally play video games again?
No, I'm not even allowed to play 2 minutes of video games on my mobile app called Marvel Contest of Champions that I've been playing for the last.
So, can you tell me very loudly how much you spent on the app?
hold up fingers, and they'll use that as times 10.
Right now, it's okay.
Okay.
Is she watching you right now? You about to die? Yeah.
Every move. She's like, we're not.
He's just gonna get sucker punched on camera one of these days.
So let me just say real quick about DC Fandom. I loved the theatrics of this whole dome. That was like kind of something we agreed upon. That was okay. It was very corny looking. It was like one of their amusement parks. Like, have any of you guys been to any of the amusement parks that was like DC amusement parks?
Six Flags, Magic Mountain.
Flags, yes. Have you been?
Yeah.
What was that experience?
Oh, what's that experience like? The Superman one is great. I'm originally from Indiana, so I would go to Six Flags Great America in Illinois, and they had the Batman ride, where I want to say a guy's head was decapitated when it swings under. Some kid kicked a guy trying to grab his wallet that had dropped from the ride. And there's a Green Lantern ride where they have to put two people. It's kind of like this weird like swing that rocks and it goes under. But if you have someone too large on either side, people are reporting like whiplash. And so they had to tear it down. It's like one of the most poorly thought out roller coasters ever, where it's like, okay, how much do you weigh? 220? Don't lie to me. How much do you weigh? And then, you are going to a chiropractor that doesn't know what they're doing. Okay. And that's Hal Jordan. First flight.
This episode was not brought to you by DC or Warner Brothers.
That sounds horrible, but funny as hell.
I mean, it's not. Look, I'm doing a PSA, all right? Just because, they're like, oh, here, just sign this waiver. This could mean anything. And then soon you're Fabio and you headbutt a goose as you're flying through the air, It's not good.
That's funny.
So sorry, nobody talked about the Batman movie yet. Okay, sparkly Batman, I'm a fan. I wasn't a fan before, I'm a fan. I don't think it has anything to do with Batman jacking off at a lighthouse and growing up
with the Green
film.
Goblin.
Yeah, with the Green Goblin, exactly. I don't think it has anything to do with that, but I do feel that you know what? We've grown. We're in a pandemic. We've grown in taste and age, and we deserve more. We deserve a Batman that can jack off with the Green Goblin.
Progressive. That's your MO. TSU, Masters of the Universe, or MOTU. So, okay, I like the 25% of the movie that was in the trailer, except for when Batman punches that random thug until he passes out and then continues to punch him till he seizures. I think that's a little shitty. And also Matt Reeves, he was getting those fan questions, and I was just looking at my watch, is this going to go somewhere? And he would just talk about production stuff. Well, to conceptualize my vision, I had to realize that Batman is not just leather. He's nipples. He's rubber. He's not the vision of just one Nolan. He's the vision of three. And you cannot have a Batman without a Bane or several dead Heath Ledgers. It's like, good gravy. All they asked was do you like the Silver Age Batman or the Golden Age Batman with the purple gloves?
He's thought about it a lot.
What, me?
No, the Reeves.
Oh, Matt Reeves just going on the longest answer possible. Yeah. I mean, look, it did feel like Comic-Con in that you just had bad panels, you had bad questions.
Yes.
And all the celebrities for the Wonder Woman panel, which was the first one, very bubbly, very, Patty Jenkins. She's like, oh, I love you too. Oh, look, we have the original Wonder Woman. Sorry, I'm changing the topic. But there's that. And then you go to the Sandman panel with Neil Gaiman. And then you have Yvette Nicole Brown doing the Hollywood thing, oh, I like your hair. Oh, I'm going to compliment you. And then you have them have the realest answers that get a little dark. I forgot, Willow G. Wilson. Is that her name? Okay, maybe.
Sounds right. It sounds right. I remember
Yeah,
what you're talking.
yeah, she talks about like, well, the importance of the Sandman comic is that it around the 80s there was the AIDS epidemic, and they wanted to remind you that there's dead people that don't get remembered, and we should remember them. And I was like, good God, she just said your hair was nice, or she liked your name.
Hashtag razor blades.
Yeah. But I mean, I super loved it. I love Jim Lee, like critiquing another artist. I don't know if you saw that.
No, who's he critiquing?
Oh, it was just some random artists that were on like, I think they submitted some of their.
Yeah, they had an
Batman art.
open submission, which I don't think they generally do anything to that wide of a scale. But yeah, you could submit artwork and get it reviewed by DC. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I just imagine there's a lot of Rule 34 pictures, Swamp Thing and Ivy, or Clayface, and
Yo, Clayface is awesome on that Harley Quinn show.
oh yes, I'm an actor.
Yeah, Alan Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk.
Being hammy as fuck. Yeah. All right. So some of the other trailers, I think Warner Montreal also released. They did the prequel Arkham that was not as good as the Rocksteady ones, which they released the Gotham Knights one, which was kind of cool to see. Batman's dead, and the internet is like, no, he's not dead. But it focuses on all the Bat family with Barbara, Damian Wayne, Jason Todd, and Dick Grayson. Not Rick Grayson or whatever BS DC's been trying to pull. But you get to fight, and I think it's a co-op game. So you can do Arkham-esque gameplay with more than one person, which will be interesting, I think. And then we also had Wonder Woman, which I don't know. The jokes fell kind of flat for me.
What do you mean by Wonder Woman?
The Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Like, I like seeing the nod to the Kingdom Come armor with the gold stuff. I'm probably the only person that didn't know Kristen Wiig would be Cheetah. I thought she was going to be Plucky Sidekick because I wasn't trying to look for it. And now it's kind of like that whole, let's just show everybody everything. And
yep, they showed their final form already.
Yeah, and Max Lord, though, I think that's the secret. So, like, is Chris Pine really back, or is it mind control and he makes people
it's mind control,
yeah. And so, I mean, that's going to be the bittersweetness of the movie. And out of the Trinity, after the crap that was Beavis, or Batman vs. Superman, sorry. I think
like
hers
Beavis
was
better.
the strongest. Yeah. Oh. Martha, why did you say that name? My joke was...
Beavis and Butthead is actually getting rebooted.
Is it Mike Judge?
I think, yeah, he's producing. Well, it might not be a reboot. It might just be an update, but it's coming back.
Okay.
Which I'm probably more excited about that than a lot of the DC stuff. But yeah, I don't know what you guys thought about the Wonder Woman trailer or Gotham Knights.
Yeah, they're kind of there. I mean, I'm looking forward to Wonder Woman because I think that's when DC turned the corner. Like, it's, not that Wonder Woman was phenomenal, but at the same time, I think it'd be interesting. Just maybe from that point, they started to give directors a little more reign over their movies, and so I don't know. I just want to see what they can do. I do think still Kristen Wiig as Cheetah is weird.
Yeah.
Max Lord, I hope he's a good villain. Let's just put it that way.
He is based off of Trump, so I mean
he's got the potential to
pick your villains. Yeah.
Be good though.
Yeah. I like Pedro Pascal. I mean,
yeah.
This is the way. He's the Mandalorian. He's also like my favorite character in Game of Thrones.
He's also good in Narcos. For the one season he was on, two seasons.
Yeah, he was good on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He
was on Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
He was in the season 4 where there's like the college season, and he's like a student that can't find his way around campus, and then he just dies after bumping into Buffy. That was like his first role.
That's so archaic and so out in left field. I fucking appreciate that so much, along with your fucking red Power Ranger helmet in the background.
What? What? No. I'm joking.
Okay.
But yeah, I think out of all the trailers, the Batman one probably still stole the show with.
For you?
Just quality wise, it looks the best in terms of the movies. Well, even better than the video game trailers, I think.
Why, you like muscle cars?
I do like muscle cars, even though I don't drive one. But yeah, Pattinson, I've heard good things about his indie films, which I've watched none of. I need to watch The Lighthouse. And yeah, just like turning Riddler into a
do you really?
serial killer 7 type of person. Yeah, hopefully we'll actually see him become a detective in this movie, which we still have never seen in a movie.
We've never seen a Batman, a detective. The last time we saw a detective Batman was like in the 70s. Yeah. He was going like this.
Well, wait. You
know what we haven't seen either is how he became Batman and his parents dying. So I really hope they show that.
Yeah.
Again.
Pearls. Yeah. They go behind the hammer of a
I need to know what inspired him to do it. I really.
You know what? The only recent Bat film that did not do that was Lego Batman.
I know. It was really good. Oh,
and it was such a good deconstruction of the character in Lego Batman too.
Oh, well, I mean, it was fun. It's the Diedrich Bader-ness to it, which I liked in Brave and the Bold Batman. Dark Knight.
Batman was so good. I honestly feel like Brave and the Bold Batman, that's what created the seeds for what we see now with Harley Quinn.
Well, they have actual comedians that can probably put input to the show, because I think the writing is too smart for any something that came out that aggressively crass, personally. But yeah, definitely Silver Age love letters is what Batman Brave and the Bold actually said as a meta commentary when Batmite was on the last episode. And I just love that they had an established vision and they had a tongue-in-cheekness to that. And they still managed to have an episode where Batman confronts Joe Chill and almost kills him. And it was still dark. Also, Blue Beetle dies in that show, right?
Yeah, he always does.
Yeah, we'll never actually meet Ted Kord, but we'll meet Booster Gold or the Jaime Blue Beetle, and then just an afterthought.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see Booster Gold on the big screen one day.
Dude, did you see the death battle where Booster Gold beat Cable?
No, I've watched a few of those on YouTube, but yeah, I haven't seen that one.
So I feel like whenever there's a Marvelverse DC, if there's no fan vote, then DC wins, not because they're stronger or better characters. It's because their powers aren't accurately described to where they have limitations.
Booster Gold's supposed to be pretty strong in some storylines.
Did Booster Gold really defeat Cable, or was it Skeets? Let's be honest.
Look, we can't take him out of the suit and just be like, yeah, I'm a loser at a museum from the 30th or 25th century. Obviously, it's the suit and the Skeets. So,
well, Jay could comment on it. Jay is a huge Booster Gold fan.
Yeah, man, he's awesome.
Yeah,
he's got a Legion flight ring. He's got what's his? No, it's Brainiac's. He's got the force field belt.
Yeah.
Power suit.
And that's what defeated Cable ultimately.
Yeah.
Was his force field can withstand X amount of energy, like a full blast from Mogo, the Green Lantern planet. Like, it's just so overpowered. So, I mean, yeah, if you see that matchup, just know, chances are DC's going to win.
All right, let's move on from DC. We're gonna touch on a little bit of Marvel. So
A lot.
a lot. How dare you? All right, we'll go out of order actually. So the New Mutants came out in theaters this past Friday, which we haven't had any theaters open for a long time during this pandemic. So what a lot of theaters did is they started converting to drive-in theaters. So I know our local theater did that, and then many other theaters around the country also did that. So I guess none of us went to check it out, but one of our guys who still refuses to podcast is one of the big New Mutant fans, and this movie had been in development hell for like 4 years now or something like that.
5 years.
5 years. Okay, something crazy like that. So
like Magic isn't wearing a training bra anymore.
What? Is that part of the reshoots?
no,
Also,
remember I
are you
warned
going
you
to
about
jail?
him when he was incredibly offensive and like he's a habitual line crosser and
Well,
yeah,
we don't. Yeah, the Zoom makes it so like it seems like the joke fell flat, like he just dropped the mic.
No. His jokes do fall flat because they're really offensive and
You're going to jail. At least he didn't say it about Macy Williams, so yet. It's coming. That's what he said. Okay.
yeah. So I mean, this was before. This was like before. I think Game of Thrones had already started, but before. Yeah, that actress had done Split and some of the other horror movies, The Witch, and before that one guy blew up on Stranger Things. So yeah, it's been a while since.
I thought you meant literally. I thought you meant he exploded.
Oh no. No,
okay,
he's an older brother on Stranger Things. Who was he playing?
Which character is he?
I don't know the New Mutants, man.
Fuck, man. Be honest, bro. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
No one knows. We're gonna find out eventually. Eventually, we're gonna find out.
Does anyone like care about this movie though? I don't know. It doesn't look that good.
Yeah, the reviews aren't stellar at all. They're probably mediocre or even bad, maybe, from what I was reading.
Honestly, it feels like they were like, you know what? It wasn't gonna make any money if like people were allowed to go to theaters. So this is probably the best chance we got because there's no competition, and it's still gonna be.
Yeah. God, I thought you were nice, Jay.
I'm just.
No,
it's time to roast
call out
this.
BS if he sees it. So yeah, I think they made either 10 or 11 million over the weekend for their little drive-through experiment, and who knows how much they spent on it? Probably the average is like 150 to 200 on a movie this size, and
with that cast.
Yeah, like they just kept on delaying it when it was still at Fox, and it was only after Disney bought it that Disney was like, we're not going to touch it, we're just going to release this thing. And then COVID hit, and then they delayed it for like the 8th time, and then
so like Venom came out, right? And they're like, this movie's a mess, we'll try to do our best, but we have to release it so we can own the property for a little longer. And it did well. So I think that's part of their logic is like, I know that's Sony, but still, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
who knows? Because DC has like a lot of stinkers that still, globally have money. A huge gross.
Yeah, like the first Suicide Squad made at least 800 mil, I think. Venom did either 800 mil or maybe even $1 billion if you take in all the eventual overseas box office.
Yeah, because I've been to Cambodia and I'm like, why aren't you guys just pirating it? Like, I don't mind Chinese subtitles. Just give it to me, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if it's doing well, if it's playing on airplanes as one of the movies that people pay for just so they fall asleep. So
Yeah, and then I think at least this gives theaters like some kind of thing to showcase, because there's, especially the smaller ones, they're struggling, and I think I was hearing AMC was talking about possible bankruptcy as well.
well, you heard about the 15 cents a seat, like, and then half capacity theaters.
Yeah.
And I was just like, no, that's dumb. And what, you're gonna serve popcorn? Yeah, I'll just
Yeah,
have
so
this
then
giant
everyone takes their
bucket.
mask off inside to eat popcorn, and then
Yeah,
breathe
there's
the
like a
same
vape
air.
pen, like half my COVID. Yeah, it's not good. So
Yeah, and I had Movie Pass, I had the Regal Unlimited, so I was going to movies like probably 2 or 3 times a week. So I was seeing everything. But yeah, now there's no way I'm going to a movie theater inside for probably not till next year, I think.
yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm not a movie pass guy. Someone's coming on.
Cool.
What I can say is that I really am excited about Tenet. I want to support what's going to happen with Black Widow, but I feel like Black Widow is going to get the Mulan route. I'm
Moulin
going to
Rouge?
no, I'm going to support. I'm going to pay for $30. I'm going to pay $30. I'll pay for it so that I can see more shit come online. So I'm fucking safe at home. You know what I mean?
Oh, support.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, Sean, you talked about it before. You said if you don't have a good aftermarket for a fucking board game, if you don't have a good aftermarket, then fucking the game's gonna die, right? You said that. The
Yeah.
same shit. What we're going on right now with the fucking experience of the movie theaters. I love going to movies. I love smelling the fucking shitty ass popcorn that never tastes like what it smells like. But you know what? I still love that experience. I love going into a theater with a bunch of strangers I don't even know, but we're all laughing and fucking laughing and crying or whatever over the same fucking film that's in front of us. That's an experience that you can't get, at home.
It does depend.
It depends on the genre, I think. So with comedies and horror, you need that audience. You need to hear the audience reaction. For anything else, I don't care. I'll watch it at home for most other things. But if it has visual effects with stuff blowing up, and I prefer the bigger screen and 31-point sound system that'll, just vibrate the chairs.
So I've been fortunate to watch Blade in theaters, like back in '99, and that was an all black audience and me, and it was the best. It was the best freaking experience ever. And then I went and saw The Nutty Professor way back in the day to see Dave Chappelle roast Eddie Murphy, and again, excellent time for a comedy. But as far as horror goes, there's been a couple times where I've been like, this is a very have you guys seen Midsommar?
Yes.
I haven't, but I will. So don't tell me the ending.
That's Future Blood. That's Blood 2. That's Black Widow 2, by the way.
What'd you say?
I said that's Black Widow 2. That's the next Black Widow.
Oh, he's talking about Florence Pugh, the actress in. Are you talking about?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I was just like, they already have Black Widow 2? Man, you know your stuff. Oh, okay, yeah. Yelena Belova, or
yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm a comic nerd, and Heroclix is how I learn obscure comic people. So, Unis the Unstoppable, I'm not gonna know who that guy is. Give me a Heroclix and let me look through him. Yeah, sure, I'll know what that is.
So speaking of HeroClix, we had a bunch of previews for the upcoming Spider-Man, Venom, and Absolute Carnage sets. We had it through various anywhere from the Italian pages to some of the shops, and then also the Scott Porter did a unboxing with. They also sent him extra chases to show off. So I believe we've seen 6 chases now. We've seen all the chases.
What are they?
Between Gamma and the Scott Porter videos, and then he also previewed the Galactus on the 3rd day of the unboxing. So we have in this set a bunch of the Spider-Verse people. We have a lot of the Venomized characters. We have a bunch of symbiotes from the various storylines, including Absolute Carnage. And then we'll have like people like Red Goblin and Null that are coming to the forefront in some of the more recent Marvel storylines. And all the chases are Spider-Verse people put in different timelines. So they are actually a collaboration between WizKids and Marvel, and they haven't actually appeared in comics before. So we have stuff like Gwen of Arc. There's an Egyptian. Which character was it? I don't remember. Was it Black Cat?
Gwen.
It was Gwen, the Egyptian one. There's Viking Spider-Man, which I need that one. There's Steampunk Penny Parker, which everyone's going to want that one because all these chases give generic keywords, the Spider-Man family keyword, different ones, but Penny gives robot Spider-Man family, which is going to be huge with all the robots out there.
Just so you guys know, Sean is writing on his notes right now with his pen. And if you have a penny, trade it to Sean.
Yeah, trade it to me first.
I believe the Pharaoh character is Jessica Drew.
Okay.
Oh, hey, what's up, Chris?
What's up, Chris? Yeah, we just got into the Clicks portion. So, Chris,
I'm glad I came in at the right time to correct Sean from being wrong.
No, Omar gave me the wrong information. I don't give misinformation like that.
Hey, Chris.
Ooh, that's called mastermind.
Chris, why don't you put an image on your face right now so that so we know who you are and what you look like. And I know
Omar,
Omar, sucks.
You're lucky I was able to dial in. I'm in my garage.
I'm so happy they're dialing in from your garage. It's very quiet out there, isn't it?
Count your blessings.
It's very quiet out there, isn't it?
It is very quiet out here. I am currently I'm finishing up some prints, and before I clean them, I figured I would pop in, say hi, root out all the bad information you guys are about to give the people about Heroclix, and to let the listeners know, Sean and viewers, Sean was also a collaboration between Marvel and WizKids.
Yes, I was.
What? You're the love child? Oh my gosh.
I'm the bastard love child. So, Chris, what are you looking forward most in this upcoming set?
Oh, man, I feel bad. So I really was going to skip this set. However, I will pick up Peter the Viking. I will pick up anything with the Avengers keyword. And I feel like I, out of obligation of possibly playing competitive at some point, have to end up with most of the chases because they give generic keywords. They make generic keywords non-generic. So WizKids did a really good job. I personally don't know the storyline because I don't really follow or like Spider-Man that much or his little universe. I know. I'm like one of the 4 people that thinks meh. But I think they did a good job by making a lot of powerful dials. So people kind of had to get the set, and they tend to do that from time to time. Also, the set has 2 generics. I'm anti-sets with low generic counts. Also, I'm anti-Marvel using the name Null twice. Because if we remember, it was also used in Fear itself. I know it was spelled differently, but they can do better than that. I love all of you, and I love all the listeners and viewers too.
How diplomatic.
Not biblically.
Oh, very diplomatic. What I gotta say really quick is I'm very happy that this set came out because it allowed me to expand on things that I wanted to get into, which is Transformers, especially with after watching the Netflix, after watching the Netflix series Siege on Cybertron. I sold all my symbiotes for like $350.
Nice.
And then I got like a fucking masterpiece Starscream, and then I got a straight up Jetfire first generation, and then I even got Energon cubes that I didn't even realize it was a thing. Paul, I love you. Paul, I'm so glad. Paul, I'm so glad you're here. Paul, talk about this.
Yeah. Products.
So like Transformers is amazing. Like Chris will say G.I. Joe's better than Transformers. He's wrong.
It's weird. G.I. Joe is. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
Oh no, G.I. Joe is obviously better than Transformers, and only because they'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. Plus we get to see what happens when Starscream's the leader of something. So that's why he never gets to be it in Transformers. Duh.
Please, mighty Megatron, I swear allegiance. Please.
And tell me Destro does not have the greatest voice ever. My dear Cobra Commander, I do not believe this is a great motivation. Destro was the man.
Okay, I have a confession. My mom looks like Baroness because she has like black hair and glasses. And unfortunately, Baroness did stuff to me at a young age. And I had to like, there's an episode where she was in a bikini and she had like fight off a bunch of dudes and join forces with the Joes. And like, I think that's the real reason is I'm just trying to avoid an Oedipal thing where, you know, I'm sorry, I'm broken. That's why I do stand up or did stand up.
That action figure is like $130 right now. So if you want to take advantage of your childhood issues, you can buy and then sell the Baroness.
Are you talking about the Target exclusive from the new G.I. Joe set that came out?
Yup.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on 5 or 6 of them, but yeah, they're about $120 in the secondary. Pretty nuts.
Yeah, that's people said she looked like Lisa Loeb, so I looked up who Lisa Loeb was, and then I listened to her.
I mean, a little bit. I mean, she's got a smidge of a teeny weeny bit of like a 4 3/4 head.
Yeah,
but
it works.
The line is amazing, and the articulation's great, and everything else about the figure, the sculpting is just absolute magic. Plus,
yeah,
if you do a little paint work and paint the neck peg just the same color as the body to act like a turtleneck, yeah. Her suit fits on like almost any character you would want for Marvel Legends. I think right now I have a Monica Rambeau head on my extra one, and it looks absolutely incredible. So,
nice.
You know.
Yeah. I saw the scale of the motorcycle with the Punisher, Herald of Galactus, Ghost Rider. And yeah, they all scale. So with Marvel Legends. The effects on the Transformers, though, the blasters, the Target Masters is what we know them for G1 Headmasters. Yeah, you can plug them on everything. And then they did that with the Marvel Legends, like the fire stuff. So super impressed with Hasbro making, and also normally, I'm sorry to say, a lot of the Transformers are trash. Like there's a Blitzwing from Generations. They just look like a kid in a cardboard like suit. And when you transform it, it doesn't look like a tank or a plane. But this set, for the most part, has a lot of gimmicks, and most of them are good. So
I gotta say really quick, I just gotta throw out there. I have a friend. His name is Sean. He influenced me very heavily. He said, "You know what? It's all about the black market." He's all, if you don't have a good black market, that means your product sucks. And that's the reality of it. Like, if you are going out to shops and you can't find shit, you gotta go to black market, right? That's what we do. But guess what?
It's too new, though. It's too new. And now, hold on. I dispute that. There is a line called Mythic Legions. It's a boutique line. There is no black market, and they have some of the most expensive figures on the secondary going around. It's one of the more popular lines on the come up. throwing that shit out there. The Four Horsemen, who used to work for McFarlane till they went in their own direction, made a pretty dope line. Just Transformers has been around forever, and I'm scarred, dissimilar to our previous scarred person, but I'm scarred because I thought Megatron was a really dumb toy because there was no way I could make him small enough to fit in Soundwave's hands. And I always thought that was kind of dumb that the toy turned into a gun that you could only play with as a kid. But it didn't come with a small gun you could plug into their hands. That would have been nice, right? Give us a small one so we could do the phase shift, and we don't have to pretend Megatron went away.
Look, man, it was the 80s. There are limitations. Also, Transformers were like, if we go for inflation, adjust for inflation, they're stupid expensive back then. Since the average income was like 30 to 40K.
And they could have printed out a little plastic gun that represents Megatron. You could have did that in the 80s. They had the technology to do it. It was called, they had the molds.
No, they had Muscle Men, and they had the Diaclone stuff. And it's just, you have to translate all that crap. You've seen the toys that made us. There's a lot of like.
I have seen the toys that made us.
I have to assume.
I feel like Omar's making up for the time that his family was buying him GoBots on accident.
Ooh, that's worse than not pulling out.
That's hard.
Oof. Leader 1, leader none. But so I was showing the Chinese knockoffs, and this is an oversized Red Alert from the Siege line. There we go. Versus the side swipe. Everything's reversed. But yeah, and this is cheaper, and it has die cast. So I don't know. Cool stuff. Good. Transformers fans. Don't call them trans fans. That's different.
All right. So next time when I ask you what topics you have, Omar, don't have me come up with topics and then go and talk about whatever you want.
I contributed that. I apologize. That's on me.
No, I blame Omar. Everything that's wrong with this podcast is brought to you by Omar.
Okay, you talked about the black market.
Podcast. This is crazy, witty banter. That's what you want on a podcast. You want the wittiest of banter.
Aha.
Okay.
So do you guys have braggadocious moments from Heroclix, flipping figs?
Omar, he's been selling a lot of stuff lately.
I think I said it earlier. I didn't want to come off like I was taking advantage of Sony because I wasn't.
Whoa.
Did I just wait? Did I just wink? No, you got all my symbiotes, and I got like the two dopest pieces I really wanted out of my like Transformers. I got the Masterpiece Starscream. This is a MP11. So this is the one that comes with the cape and the crown and all that shit.
Yeah.
So, but the most important part is the hands, because his fingers are all, you can move the fingers. Mm-hmm. The thing all I wanted was Energon in his hands and coming down. So for me, like my piece in my room, my man cave that thankfully my fiance just left, is I'm going to have like Starscream with one cube and then all these cubes coming down his hands. And I'm going to figure out a way to make it look cool like that. People will appreciate it. Not many, but you know, maybe you guys.
Wait, you mean like coming down like he's like money, like change falling out of somebody's hands?
Exactly.
Making it rain? Oh, okay.
Oh, have someone use the dimensions, have someone print you in clear resin, little like a waterfall effect with little cup holders so you can barely see the stuff like that.
That's too late. I already bought like 24 Energon cubes.
Yeah. No, I'm saying have little, like someone print like a little clear waterfall effect that has little holders that'll hold the Energon cube suspended in midair.
So what's the worst is that.
Oh my God! Is that Trypticon?
Yeah. Yeah, you should have.
Kids has been making Transformers models, but they won't put them into HeroClix. Yeah.
Time out. Which Trypticon is that, Paul?
I think it's Yeah, it's the Generations one. Or not Generations, it's the Titans Return. Did you see? That's Metroplex, Trypticon, and Fort Max.
Yeah.
And you have all of them, I assume.
No, I go to Ross and I bought this for $50.
Hey, I gotta get my kids and stuff down. Sorry to interrupt.
All right, yeah.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, come back if you want.
Hey, Omar, I got a question.
Jake, download
If you're like
Fall Guys.
you're now going to be a super Transformers collector, are you going to buy a Unicron on the secondary market like a boss, or are you going to be a Mitch and not buy one?
Oh, I'm definitely getting them. I'm definitely getting them. But I'm gonna trick somebody into like buying all my crazy ass Heroclix. Like I realize like like you gotta go towards what people want. It's not about what you want, it's about what people want. So you gotta go to what
you'll sell a lot of clicks.
By chance do you have a Metro? By chance do you have a Unicron G1?
Have you guys seen the unit? Have you seen the HasLab Unicron? Can someone? I'm not on, but can someone pull it up?
Oh, on the screen? I mean, I've seen it. So.
Takes up the bigger portion of a 7-foot table.
Yeah, it's the USS Flag of Transformers, right?
It's true.
So.
But Omar, you can't be a boss without that. I'm a Marvel Legends collector. I bought a bunch of Sentinels this year, so you gotta do what you gotta do, buddy.
You pre-ordered for that new one?
Oh, geez.
I pre-ordered 3. So I'll keep 2, and then I will sell the other one when it comes out, more than likely at a price that I'll pay for all 3.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll keep it. I don't know. They gave so many extras. They
Yeah.
gave you extra Bastion that could be Sentinel 1. They gave so many extra heads, blast damage. Plus, I don't know if you guys saw the video of those things. They are freaking humongous.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, I just don't want to store any large-sized collectibles.
Yeah, Funko Pops was the dumbest investment for me. I hate them, but I can't throw them away, and I can't sell them on eBay because the post office is kind of, I don't know, it's not as good.
Facebook Marketplace, COVID safe swap. They pay you first. You leave it on your porch.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, what do you collect now, though, to save space, Sean?
I collect Heroclix, which does not save space because of the amount that I buy.
Yeah, same. I actually just sold my collection when I left the hobby for like, an undeterminate amount of money. But I had the Marvel Zombies villains base, and I had like 8 figures on that, and that was basically like $1,000. And then that helped him take the whole collection. Otherwise, it's hard for a reseller to sort out the generics and,
Yeah,
garbage.
because you'll have some money pieces here and there, and in terms of a chase or a super rare, but if you're buying regularly and going after chases, you hit a lot of dud packs, so then you're just sitting on CUR. So if you want to get back in the game, I got a lot of CUR I can throw at you.
Oh, hey, I got something for you, Paul.
Oh God.
He already sent a bunch of stuff to one of the other podcasters.
Yeah, he didn't show up tonight for some reason. It was weird.
Okay.
Yeah, he's mad at you for sending him all that Heroclix stuff.
You don't even know. He's like right now. He's like, I just sent him the rule books. I sent him the rule book. I sent him like incredible pieces. I gave him all his favorite character. I gave him like everything Captain America. So like, you don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
That's how you get started. First taste is free.
Yeah,
gentlemen.
plastic crack.
Oops, sorry. I've
Yeah,
got
go
to
for it.
skedaddle. I'm about to get elbows deep in resin. I just want to stop in and say hi and tell you how great of a job you're doing, Sean, as the moderator this week. Don't let Omar get you down. And Paul, you are a scholar and a gentleman, and Omar, you're a drunk. Peace out, guys.
All right, see you, man.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck you, Chris. I want to.
All right, but yeah, so the set, there's some new mechanics. One is Secret Identity, where you can start off with like a 15 or 25 point civilian, and then change into their superhero or supervillain alter ego for another like 25 points. Yeah. So you can just sideline the other version, and for a very low cost of points, you can have like a 6 or 7 click person, which is.
But you have to roll to get into that guy, right? So you have to roll like a 4 to 6 or some shit.
You do? I don't think you do. You have to pay that point cost, and once it KOs,
you gotta roll, bro.
You gotta roll.
I'm really drunk right now because I've been drinking all day.
Oh, okay.
I saw the wine.
Yeah, I've been moving. I've been moving our office. So we work in an insurance, and we recently moved our office, and we moved it on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. To say Sunday.
Yeah.
Last 4 days, I've been fucking moving. I'm drunk more out of anything for survival. I just want to live. I want to hang out with y'all. I want to talk with you guys about shit that I like. Like I just want to feel like I'm a part of something.
Yeah. So there's that.
That's very Clicks related.
And then,
this is just like when I met Omar at the tournament. He was blasted. Like he was just like red face. Just
he's blasted like most of our podcasts too.
It's so funny because it's like, oh, is Omar going to be there? Are we going to be talking about Heroclix? Then he'll be drunk. It'll be an Irish hello and goodbye.
So it's red wine for him tonight.
What we do.
But yeah, the other thing that's cool, I think, is a lot of the Carnage symbiotes, if they hit you, anyone adjacent can also get 1 penetrating damage, which is kind of like the DC metal chases. So that's kind of brutal if you have support pieces and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then that, and then the chases with their, their keyword granting abilities. It'll be a set that, like gameplay wise, I think it'll be interesting. And
how's what's the type of heroes they can sub for the alter ego? Because that seems broken. Like really broken.
Like the Hobgoblin guy, he can turn into Hobgoblin, Demogoblin, I think, and Mysterio. And then Mary Jane can she can don the Iron Man suit or one of the symbiotes.
And it's a full 7 clicks. It's not like a lower point.
So you get the civilian side, which is like 3 clicks, and then the it's like a half dial for the alter ego.
Then I hope it's a drop off, and then possible like back end power at the end or whatever.
Yeah, they don't get any they get more offensive once they turn into the alter ego. Otherwise, they're just kind of like a support piece in the beginning.
And is there? Oh, so it's perplex, outwit.
Yeah, usually some type of.
For 15 points, it
ranges from like 15 to 25 for their civilians.
Such a bargain. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so since you've quit, the power creep's been insane.
Dude, ridiculous. You don't even realize. Like, Keanu Reeves, he's made like a bunch of movies out. Hey, Paul.
I'm sorry, what?
Hey, Paul, Keanu Reeves.
Yes, I'm familiar with Keanu.
So, put a bunch of films out where he is fighting Russians and just shooting them all and fighting them and never dying.
Yes, he's the Baba Yaga. He's the boogeyman. I'm familiar.
Yeah. So he's about to make a Matrix movie, and it's not going to have his mentor in it.
Lawrence Fishburne?
Yes.
Yeah. Breaking news. Oh, how do I feel about it? I don't love The Matrix as much as everyone. So I think the Matrix is okay. I thought the first one was amazing, and then I thought about it, and then I was like, oh yeah, we've had a lot of school shootings since this movie, so it's all right. What does this have to do with Heroclix?
Nothing. He just totally went on
derailed.
tangent again.
This is Sean masterminding onto me and making me make sure I get all the damage because I just want to like know what you're thinking because like fuck man, this is the first time I have you on. I want to know what you think. Like I want
Okay.
people think shit.
Well, Omar, if you had a higher point level or costs, then he couldn't mastermind. Or if you had leadership, he can't mastermind, do you, right? Is that
That's
still
right.
a rule? I don't know.
They changed mastermind.
It just goes to anyone lower than you?
I think maybe keyword also. I don't ever use it, so.
It's
Yeah.
like leadership. It's like leadership. So you can leadership, you can roll for it, and as long as they have a matching keyword, it doesn't matter if they have a lower point value, I think.
Yeah.
Everybody get your dice out. I love my Fear Itself dice because it was square. So I could just like roll it, and then when it catches the air right, it just lands. Either you see the Avenger symbol, and it's just 6. It's like,
Oh,
fuck.
yeah. I like the other one with the Asgardian symbol. That one rolled pretty hot too.
Yeah. I mean, having squares and then having no divots, but having the icon be the 6. Dude, when I went to Florida to play Clicks, that's how serious I was. There's this guy, he would like put the dice between his hands and crack the dice and then spin them in the air and they'd land straight down. And I hated him so much because I'm like, just roll them. I want to see it tumble. Use a cup or a dice tray. That was kind of like one of the things I really rubbed me the wrong way about competitive.
I think the current ROC dice, I think they're weighted incorrectly, so they roll too high like all the time.
5 or 6 every time.
Like one guy, the jerk of our local scene, he was rolling this pair of ROC dice, and he didn't roll below a 10 the whole game. And then next time when I was rolling hot, but I was still having a couple misses here and there.
Yeah.
He got mad at me, and I'm like, did you not just forget about last week when you had your cheater dice out?
That's the thing about Heroclix is that gambling element. It just makes people salty. And what sucks is when you do the homework and the research, people see you as elitist, and you're like, I'm just playing the game. Like we had a whole thing with Majestics where at the ROC, they had 2 of our team go against each other, and because it was team bases, they scored like double the points each. And they said that there was coercion. It's like, well, first off, burden of proof is on you. Second, you have to watch us as we do it. You can't just correlate something and say we're guilty.
That's fucked up.
And
I've heard that after that, like at one point Patrick brought up like, people, giving points to their friends or whatever as a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And WizKids basically took away, collaboration with him and gave it all to ROC. So ROC since then has, blown up, and they're running the only online and nationals this year during the pandemic. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of ROC. I do buy their maps sometimes.
Howard, fuck you.
Yeah. Oh, Howard Brock. You want to buy it? I kind of run it. Mr. Incredible himself.
But like the dice are just, they're always weird. And I believe in dice curses. Like down in the Bay when I was still over there, like I would go for a month sometimes just not being able to roll past a 6. And that would just go through, 4 weeks straight of that. And then all of a sudden after that, my dice would be rolling normal again. So.
Oh, I had a bad mojo I would put on other people. So even though I'm not like the best technical player, my luck is super high on screwing someone else because I'll like TK and then be like, oh crap, I didn't mean to go there. And then my opponent will be like, well, you can't take it back. And they're like, okay, he'll just walk backwards. And now he's open. And then the guy's like, okay, I'm going to one-shot your 200-point piece. And then he'll roll snake eyes. And then I'll just swoop in for the win. And it's happened a couple times. And, you know,
That's awesome.
it's a good feeling, you know?
Yeah. One of our other podcasters, Craig, he actually just played on the RLC teams. It was yesterday and today, and he's one of those people like you where he'll look at cards and try to figure out the exploit within the piece, and then try to make combos. So like some of the more recent net decking was based off of him. Like he did the Trader Kobik combo with one of his teammates, and then also did he found the Maria Hill loophole with Mastermind. But yesterday, like, you know, he does more research than I know of anyone else in the game right now. And he had this team built, and then just, you know, I don't know if it was horrible luck with rolls or what, just, you know, even with all the research and the testing, you know, came up short.
Yeah, that's the problem with tech is that it's like a trick you can only do once if it's like fairly balanced but a surprise, and then the other part is just bad pairing. So like if everyone's doing the meta and your one guy's like, oh, I want shield theme because they can boost or whatever, and it's like no one's doing it, no one's prepared to defend against it. So we've had that kind of situation where like, oh, that team's dumb. Toy Man, what are you doing? It's like, oh, Toy Man can pulse wave, cool. And it's like a team base. So,
yeah, there's always bad matchups, but like, yeah, if your dice aren't hitting or other people are just getting lucky with, you know, whatever, it can be frustrating because, yeah, all the planning just gets, you know, shut down by stupid luck.
Yeah, or Faust.
Yeah, they nerfed him.
They have to.
Yeah, but they still don't play test. There's still major imbalances. Within the game sometimes.
I mean,
well, if you need a CUR of Fantastic Four, I got your hookup.
Dude, the thing is, so like, I hate saying this, but I was kind of doing well in stand-up, and then I broke up with my girlfriend. I found Majestics and started playing Heroclix again, and then everything else in my life kind of took a back seat. Became very obsessive, started gaining weight, eating a lot of Costco pizza, flipping Fear Itself, the Colossus Juggernaut. I pulled that the first day at the first tournament, and he was going for like $300, $200. Yeah. And I pulled him like 6 or 7 times throughout that whole, season.
You're lucky. You're lucky.
Yeah. And then the War of Light, I was sending packages. People were paying the tax to Spain and South America. So I made a lot of money off that. And then the cards, the ID cards.
Yep.
When I play those, so I would get knocked out. I'm not a good rock player, like tournament player, but then I would do the battle royales and I would clean up. I would walk away with like $800 worth of chases and ID cards. And I was like, dude, this paid for the trip. Awesome.
Yeah, people at Nationals and Worlds, they were doing that when, like last year when it was still open. But what was I going to say? Yeah, so Majestics, they've created their own circuit after, Patrick got kind of blacklisted by WizKids. So they run a Bronze Age, which has a few limitations on, certain pieces like, like no Faust, no orange battery, stuff like that.
Yeah, logical.
But, and then, so that's actually been driving up some of the Golden Age secondary market values. So,
good, great.
Yeah.
I'm glad I walked away.
Can we talk real quick? Can y'all put your hands together like this real quick, like X?
Like X? Like Deadpool 2?
Do you know why they did that?
Just repeat after me. Yo, baby.
Is this on Twitch or is this just recording?
This is just recording, and we
Okay,
don't
because
do
that would
any
be
edit.
like, I would be like, oh, let's culturally appropriate.
That's what Omar's known for, is cultural appropriation.
or dispropor. You know why they do that, right?
Why?
Because in Egypt is a part of Africa. It's to honor the pharaohs who, might have been, African, like dark-skinned African, as opposed to the Hollywood's Egyptians, like in The Mummy, where it's just a white guy with a spray tan. So,
Oh.
yeah.
So should we not do?
No, we can do it. It's just you attempted the Wakandan language. Amambibe. I don't know if I'm saying it right. So
You're saying it. You can lead us on it, bro. You can lead.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda. Lead us, bro. Lead us, bro.
Yibambe.
No, it's you, man.
Yibambe.
Yibambe.
You guys are butchering this.
Well, how does it go, Sean?
I don't know. I'm not gonna attempt that.
Yeah, not gonna attempt. See, that's smart.
Yeah.
Get this man a shield and get this man a muzzle. Oh man. Oh, rest in power, King. Seriously.
Yeah. So I mean, that news came out of nowhere after like a weekend of, shooting and BS.
Yeah. Black Lives Matter. Unfortunately, I still have people that are, I don't know, on the wrong side of history. So I hate using that. It sounds so like snobby, but I don't know. Like I've been a minority, parents are immigrants, and I was raised in Indiana, which is the birthplace of the KKK. So yeah, I've had my fair share of
It's
justice.
Yeah. After hearing about all that horrible news and then hearing about Chadwick Boseman passing away, he's only 43, and apparently had filmed all these all his current success. He was already at like stage 3 cancer when
colon cancer.
Yeah, colon cancer. Filming all this.
Men never survive colon cancer, by the way. Men never survive colon cancer. Men never survive pancreatic cancer. That just never happens.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna die of colon cancer, knowing my family history.
Well, if you get it checked early enough, they can get the polyps.
I gotta go get colonoscopies in a couple of years.
Is it the giggling? Is that the tough part? Is it? No, I'm kidding.
It just doesn't sound pleasant. But
just know that the guy's doing a job. He's not like, narrating it. Like he's not doing a documentary.
Yeah.
We have landed on Sean's beehole. Here I am. My right hand is covered in a leather glove. My left hand is cold, colder than death itself. And now follow me into this portal. Oh, jeez. I really wish you wouldn't. Oh, well, Morty, my asshole is way shredded up. Oh, I did it too many times. You're gonna need to. Okay, Rick. All right.
That's very good, man. That is awesome.
I'm sorry to hear it, Sean. I gotta say, straight out, I was extremely stunned by his passing. It's 2020. It's been the shittiest year that most of us in our life and our grandparents' life and our great-great-grandparents' life has experienced. Probably the worst last year, 2 years ever. I mean, I haven't felt this since Kobe. You know what I mean? Like, I went and fact checked that shit because I saw oh, Black Panther is dead. Like I saw some bullshit like on.
Yeah, it sounds
Fox.
like a fake death. Yeah.
Yeah, Like, and I went and fact checked it. Shonda told me, my fiance, she told me, oh yeah, Kobe's dead on the day when he died. And I'm like, what? We were like at a restaurant and I was like, no, worst day ever. I looked at that shit and then I found out it was true. And I found out it was true with Chadwick. But what's crazy is afterwards, after I was like crying, after I was like moping about it, after I was like, you know, like trying to find some kind of solace, I would like go to like people that knew him and like were telling stories all of a sudden. All these people telling stories, these incredible stories. First of all, he never told nobody that he had cancer, colon cancer. Dude, for a man, that's like death sentence. You're dead. Like, that's just not going to happen. But he thought he was going to survive it. He fought that through for 4 years, equivalent of like 8 films that he did. And one of them was Black Panther. For me, Black Panther was this film that was beyond what I ever could have experienced from anything from comics. I never expected comic book movies to be good. Like, I was like, hey, you know what? I have Jack Nicholson as Joker. That's good enough for me. I'm happy with it. That's how nerds are. Nerds are like fucking weird. Nerds are like, oh, we're okay with it. Yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that. But dude, why not elevate to a different level? And that's what he did, man. He fucking elevated. And I was really sad when I found out he actually died. And I'm very excited to hopefully, potentially, and this is me, based off being a fucking super nerd, thinking that the next Black Panther is gonna be a straight woman. That would be fucking amazing. That would be amazing. And his little sister, based on the comic books. If that happens, fuck, that would be fucking amazing, bro.
Skip White Tiger, go straight to Black Panther.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. So, unfortunately or fortunately, my valedictorian from my high school, he also died of colon cancer last year, and astrophysicist, marathon runner, wife and one daughter. And you know, I had to watch his Facebook feed of him just getting feebler and feebler, or having a small video where he tried to dance with his daughter. And in the age of COVID, Chadwick had the luxury of dying with his family, because a lot of people that are dying of COVID, you know, they have to be isolated or intubated. And, you know, I try to think about not only like, why is it always, you know, why do the good die young? But like, he did accomplish a lot. And I'm sure you read all the facts on my Facebook page, Omar, with Denzel Washington getting him into Oxford because he couldn't afford it. And then him turning down a role on that soap opera. I can't remember which one. But that led for Michael B. Jordan to get his role. He complained that the character was two-dimensional, like a black gang member adopted by white people. And so he just left, and he thought that he didn't cause any change. What ended up happening was the directors and showrunners were like, yeah, I mean, we should just change it so we can make the next actor not be so upset. And that next actor was Michael B. Jordan, who did the role for 3 years after him. And then they meet again in Black Panther as Eric Killmonger. Black Panther, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but there's a lot of African history in Black Panther. Before Shaka Zulu, they would basically do what they did with the waterfalls in Black Panther, and they would settle their disputes with like a combat, but like no one would die. It was just whoever yielded. And then Eric Killmonger is basically Shaka Zulu. He comes in, he tries to modernize everyone, become more aggressive towards the colonizers. Like, yeah, that movie, there's so much depth to it. And it just can't be overstated. So anyway, I talked a lot.
No, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just, Yeah, I can't imagine doing all those films while, he's probably going through chemo at the same time on his off time and
Yeah.
all the various treatments and stuff. That's just a
Chemo-
testament. And he's different than your modern celebrity that's always trying to get attention, whether it's, your actors or your influencers or, artists or musicians, but he just kept it on the down low, was a gentleman about everything, and took care of his business, and then even got criticized on the internet for like seeming disinterested, or they were making fun of his weight and stuff like that, which was really messed up. So yeah, and then this comes out and then everyone's like, yeah, we fucked up.
Yeah, when someone's fading in and out of consciousness, not because they're bored or they're unprofessional. He's literally, every ounce of strength just to. The same with Stan Lee too, though. Like Stan Lee was being abused by his caretakers, and he was still going to Comic-Cons and running around at his age. Like, I feel like I wish we had more of a empathic society where like, okay, let's pause and really look at this and give certain considerations, before just assuming, he's an asshole.
Yeah, especially with people on the internet, people just blurt out the first thing that they think of and never give any thought to it. So yeah, I'm glad he he did things the way he wanted to and lived a pretty full life.
Yeah. So I have a Kobe story. I was driving Uber in LA, and I would talk to people about the incident, the helicopter, and the more news we got about it, and how the fog was super thick the entire week. And it was just like so stupid of the pilot to just be like, oh yeah, I got this. And it's probably one of those things where it's like, hey, that's Kobe. You have to take off. You have to fly. But I picked up this kid. He was a basketball player, visited LA for the first time on his birthday, ended up going to the memorial at the stadium. And then I drove him around, and it was just like, bro, it's like historical and shitty at the same time, So, yeah, it was terrible year. Australia, fires. Like, there's so much, we keep forgetting what bad things happened until you're like, oh, yeah. So.
Yeah, it's been a very, very long year with
4 years.
I feel like the point you made, which is really poignant, is like Kobe and like Chadwick. These are two guys that never expected to touch so many people in their lives. You know what I mean? Yes. And these guys just did their art, they did their craft, and they did it the way they expected to do it, which is work hard, wake up every morning, regardless of how they felt, regardless of it having to get chemotherapy, regardless of them having to feel like they're a fucking 40-year-old man competing against 20-year-old people. Like, they're doing that shit every fucking day. And it's like, it makes me feel like just more inspired, like more inspired than anything. Like, we got to be better and we got to do more for each other,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's like Overwatch. You ever play Overwatch where you have a toxic team and everyone's pointing fingers, and then one of you, who's like a secret pro gamer, is like, okay, I'll carry. I'll shut off team chat and I'll carry. And then I'll turn team chat back on and be like, there you go. Happy birthday. You don't owe me anything. And that's kind of like what greatness is, It's like you lead by example. You don't belittle people. You don't chastise people for taking a handout. You just you spite your enemies by living a good, prosperous life, and putting out love. Because Chadwick Boseman, like, yeah, he played Jackie Robinson. What was the other movie he made?
He was on
Brown.
21 Bridges, and
Yeah.
that was like a cop thriller with the Russo brothers, and then
Yeah.
he had one more that was pretty big. That
very big time lawyer, big time black lawyer.
Oh yeah, Thurgood Marshall.
Thurgood Marshall, thank you.
Yeah. Oh my God, the Father of Soul. He played him. I just can't.
Brown.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I said
James
Brown.
Brown.
James Brown. There we go. Good God, yeah.
Yeah. Get up.
Get up. Yeah.
Get up. Like, I haven't seen that movie yet. Incredible. Yeah. Like, from 2013 to now, 2020, 7 years, who can say that they've done so much in 7 years where they uplifted not just their people. When I say people, I mean not just African Americans, but like Africans. Like,
yes.
I was reading about Ryan Coogler. Is that his name?
Coogler.
Oh, Ryan Coogler from the director.
Yeah, so he's a director of Black Panther. He's also the director of Fruitvale Station. He's also the director of Creed and Creed 2.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. The words that he wrote were so poignant. He talked about, and he was calling him Chad every time. He said Chad. I was like, I would never call him Chad. I would say Chadwick. What the fuck is that, Chadwick? That's the whitest fucking name I've ever heard of. But he was calling him Chad the whole time.
Uh-huh.
A white name too. Anyways, but he was, regardless of that, he was saying that this guy made him realize how little he knew about life. He talked about how, they were walking around and he would just show so much like humanity to people, yes. Regardless of who they were. He was such a humanist. That's something that's lost in what we are today. Fuck the party lines. Who cares about politicians? Be a fucking good human being. If someone's crying in their car, fucking roll down your window and say, hey, are you okay? What the fuck is wrong with that? Nothing is wrong with that. We all got to help each other out. Like, we're all part of the same microcosm of what we are, What I loved about what Coogler said was, he said he was, okay, so the same year that he was going to graduate, one of his colleagues at the university was Ta-Nehisi Coates, who was also the current writer of Black Panther while he was a senior at Howard, which was incredible because this is like a fucking, imagine this. Imagine being a fucking like a senior, not graduated yet. You don't even have a graduate, not even a bachelor's of arts degree. Because in bachelor's of science, you have a bachelor's of arts degree because you are talking about philosophy and history, sociology. And he is now the current writer for Marvel Studios' Black Panther. This guy was like not even 22 years old. So this is like a young, talented black man that has the ability to influence all of these worlds around him, And the fact that like Ryan spoke to Chad, who Chad knew Ta-Nehisi, and he knew of the importance of roots. And what did Chadwick do? Chadwick looked at the most important languages of African history because he saw the opportunity to potentially be the king of Africa, Black Panther.
Right.
And he learned both Kose and he learned Swahili. How do you fucking do that in a year and have fucking straight up conversations with people that have been from there all their lives? How do you do that?
Polyglot. He's just no, I'm kidding. Yeah, he's an actor. Like, yeah, it's an amazing skill, to learn that. And I think he knew the importance of Black Panther. So Yeah, that's amazing. I wanted to say something and I lost it.
It happens.
Just say
Yeah,
how you feel, bro. It's okay, man. It's okay.
that's how I feel. Well, so like, oftentimes, because I do like a video show, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube show with my Sri Lankan. He's the host of the Geek. It's Geek Backwards, and we always come up on the topic of representation, and there's always something like Scarlett Johansson being Ghost in the Shell, right? She's white, playing a Japanese character, and then the detractors will be like, oh yeah, she's the Japanese are cool with it, and that's the problem. It's like, it's not for the Japanese because it's in English. It's for Americans, and representation means Asian American experience, Asian American representation, and Black people are robbed of their roots by the slaves. So like when you know, having African roots, there was like a criticism like, why you got to be all extra wearing dashikis and stuff to a premiere. It's like, let them have that. You know, Afrofuturism is so important because it doesn't paint the same representation of Black people like the bad parts of a Spike Lee movie, you know, like The Inner City or this and that. Like, I've been very privileged to have known PhD, well-educated, like Black people to represent, you know, just to always keep me humble and just be like, anyone can aspire to any level of status, intellect, you know, philosophy, standard of living, and they can athleticism, and that's the thing. Like, that's what we need, and he brought that, and he brought it with intellect and grace, and I hope that we have that across the board. You know, trans community, bi POC, and LGBTQ. You know, we need to normalize it so there's less. Like, I don't know, you guys heard about the hangings in California?
Yeah,
No.
there was
Yeah.
what, 7 or 8 around the country
Yeah,
that
and
one week.
Yeah, and they were just like, oh yeah, that was suicide. Who's tying a hangman noose and going to City Hall or whatever? I don't remember what building, and where you know that there is like white nationalist activity going on. That's, yeah, it sucks. 2020 sucks.
Oh, what's
Yeah.
crazy to me is that shit's happening in California. I seriously am really like fucking. I wonder where the origins of that comes from, because I don't think it comes from California.
Orange County actually has some KKK
Pockets, yeah.
roots. Trump country is Huntington Beach. That's why you see the correlation between mask aversion or anti-quarantine protests and then Trump like flags and stuff. And unfortunately I've driven Uber and I've had people like 2 white guys joke about Ethiopian food and how no wonder they're starving because their food tastes so bad. And like, obviously I can't say anything, but in my head I'm just like, yeah, you guys have lived off sugar and donuts and pizza. Of course, tasting something with actual seasoning on it is going to taste bad to you. It tastes like paper. So, you know, that's the rough part about being a passive Asian stereotype, where you're kind of like, just going to bite my tongue and let it go. I'm not going to be the loud minority that's like, could you please not stretch your eyes out? Could you please not, you know, say we all look alike? It just highlights your ignorance. That could be anybody, by the way. Like, so. I mean, I would like to believe, though, Californians are progressive, but I mean, I know better. You just, your
I
area,
think overall the state is versus, you know,
yeah.
some of the flyover states.
Where
Well, even
have you
where
been to?
I'm in the Midwest right now, in Michigan. So
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to do intros. Whoops. But yeah, so I'm in Michigan, and yeah, right now I guess we're a purple state, but we've flipped between the last few elections. So
Okay, so I'm from South Bend, Indiana. So I
yeah,
would
so you're
drive
not
up.
too far from me. Yeah.
Yeah, I drive up to the Blueberry Festival, Highland, Lansing. Never been to Detroit. You guys, did you get some rain?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got some rain.
I was like, hey, everybody, get under Ben Shapiro's wife's P word. It's dry under here. No wet ass pussy.
I don't understand his thinking of making that admission. That's
He speaks very fast, and he's never corrected when he does his like little monologues and his thoughts, because he goes, let's just say, and then once you've declared the parameters of your thought experiment, I mean, what am I supposed to do? You're like, okay, I'm a dragon, I'm a big dragon, and my wife has never had a wet pussy. So who's guarding Shrek? And I'm like, I can't follow your logic, not because you're a genius, but because you're shrill and your voice makes me want to take a shit. Like,
he's always mad. Yeah, and he makes these stupid hypotheticals that
rationalize the worst. Like
yeah, it has
profiling.
its own internal logic that's very confined to that scenario only, and you can't really use it as an analog to anything else.
So it's dark, okay? And then a cop is coming around, and then a guy has what he thinks is a gun, but in actuality it's just a cell phone, and it's playing Hotline Bling, and you know that like makes cops very nervous when they hear Hotline Bling, and then just pap pap pap. And so are we supposed to just believe? I'm gonna turn into Alex Jones in a second. You know, this pictures of Spider-Man are no good. We need more lizard people snarling. I'm a meat eating. All right, I'll stop.
No, your impressions are good, man.
I don't know how loud I am. I'm plugged into the thing.
It's so good. I love it.
Yeah.
I think drunk Omar doesn't even know what's going on right now.
It's fun. It's just the three of us, and I don't. Do you edit?
Nope.
Okay.
So
Yeah, tell me about your podcast like journey. Are you using Audacity or anything, or is this just a straight upload?
no, because I've been trying to convince him to use microphones in Audacity to improve our audio. So we're all too lazy right now to edit, so we're just putting this like straight up on YouTube.
Okay.
So I think, do we even have listeners? We have maybe.
Yeah, we have like 98 listeners.
That's good. That's a really good following, and it's consistent, right?
Yeah. I'm just convinced we probably scare a different group off each week.
Because we're like fucking loud and obnoxious, and we don't. That's who we are. I mean, Paul,
never apologize.
I brought you on was because I knew who you were, and I said you would fit right in perfect.
Yep, you definitely do. So yeah, we just, we talk about whatever the current going-ons are in the geek world and dabble in some movies and other stuff.
But also from an Asian American perspective, because like that for me, that's really important. Because I feel like the voice podcasts is all very white and vanilla. And I feel like if I have like at least 95% of us all Asian American, that makes me feel like the guys that are listening, the women that are listening, knows who we are and what we came from,
Yeah. It's the representation factor. Thank goodness for Crazy Rich Asians and Aquafina, and way back in the day, Lucy Liu. I mean, no, it's good. It's good. I'm glad, because like when I went to Sunnyvale, I'm like, am I back in Indiana? Like this is the sticks.
Yeah, it was
Sunnyvale.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, there's. I mean, Sunnyvale is right next to Santa Clara, which is known as Korean town. So there are some Asians floating around in Sunnyvale.
Oh, from the meditation, because they're Zen, and they are enlightened. I think is the word. I call it keto diet. That's how I lost 50 pounds. But yeah, enlightened.
Yeah, half my family's on keto right now.
Don't want to go into ketosis, bro. If you go into ketosis, you might not come back.
Ketosis, you mean?
Ketosis? What's that Omarosa's like weird like cosplay name?
It's a new buffet like Ponderosa.
It's like when they make the black version of Mary Poppins, that's going to be like ketosis makes the blood sugar levels go down.
Oh,
In
wow.
the most delightful way. Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, I think we've run out of topics for this week. Anything else we want to cover?
So, this guy, Paul, who's this very special guy, I've had
Feelings
eye on-
for?
time. What was that sound?
My
Is that
air
you?
conditioning.
Oh yeah.
It sounded like some weird, like. It just sounded weird.
Is this the episode where we diagnose you as ADHD? Like I'm in the same boat, bruh.
Hey, so Paul, what are some shit on rock? Tell us about some shit that you're doing. We want to know. Everybody that has listened so far, what are you doing? Why we got to go there? Tell us about that shit.
Vote. Everybody vote. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And since we were last on, also, yeah, save the post office, which is also related to voting.
Yeah. Save the post office. I'm on a show called The Keeg. I basically co-produce it. I've taken kind of like a break from stand-up. I do keep trying to come back, but COVID is like,
Yeah,
dude,
without that live audience, it's just not the same.
I mean, here's the thing. I can do it. I've tried to do the Facebook lives. The only thing is I get really nervous when I see that like view count go down and then I start to panic. It's like, no, it's just the internet connection. It's just the Wi-Fi. Plus, like when you have voices, you can just do bits, you know.
Yeah.
It's never just you alone. So on days that I masturbate, good Lord, it's a gangbang. I'm kidding. I've never masturbated. Wait, did you just ask me where can I find you? I think I just discovered where they can find me. OnlyFans account.
Bro,
that one Bella Thorne ruined
How
OnlyFans.
do I don't have the OnlyFans account yet?
What's up? I don't actually have a OnlyFans account. I just think it'd be funny. It's like, this is where it all begins. This is where I go, okay, I've got a glass table, and I'm listening to Ben Shapiro. We got the POV under the glass table. I'm about to do a deep kneed squat. And I'm going to propose the Republican skinny bill, because I've been eating a lot of string beans. Here we go. Oh, boy. This is so rough. Well, as you know, I would hope that Joe, don't fail me. Not my first choice. Kamala, great name. You know, sounds like a Mortal Kombat character. Not my business who you be fucking. So there it is. All right. Where can you find me? I'll be on the Keeg. We do the Keeg show on Twitch. That's what I'm plugging right now. You're right. I need to do TikToks. I need to at Mr. Plow Jokes on Twitter. I'm not active on Twitter. I'm sorry. And Snapchat. I promise I actually use my face. So yeah, that's Paul Lau. Paulao. It sounds like pull out. That's what my dad wishes he did. So, you know, because my college debts were so high. It's comedy, man.
Oh, so good. That's probably the best. Is it injection, fellas? That was the best injection I've ever heard.
Wait, what? Injection?
I've never heard injection before. I don't know what he's talking about.
Are you talking about my in-betweens or? Oh, you mean impression? Impression of Obama. Was that?
Did he say? Did he mean injection? What
lethal injection. Definitely would not recommend bleach as mouthwash. No. However, if you're gonna have a turducken stuffing, then Italian dressing, squeeze a lemon. And by the way, don't be popping off. Don't be like Tucker Carlson, popping off. Please, folks.
Yeah. So we know about Paul. Paul's a good guy. You can find out. You can find our shit on
NerdinIn. We're on Facebook, Twitter. We keep talking about Twitch. We might start streaming. The last mention is Fall Guys. Me and Craig have been getting into that game. It's a mix of MXC and penguin-looking things. Hilarious game. So we'll try to do that. And you can find us on, what else are we on? We're on YouTube for our main streams of this. And tell us what we should cover, how drunk on the scale you guys like Omar to be on these podcasts. And hopefully Paul will come back and do more impressions in our future episodes. But yeah, thanks for joining us. Wave bye, Mal. All right, she doesn't want to wave. I just got a mouthful of cat hair, so that is it for us tonight.
Yeah, this guy knows how to get the P word wet. All right.
See you guys.
Bye.